Hot Rod Reverend here, back at it again, and we're talking Y block 239, 256, 272, 292, 312, Ford's overhead valve V8 engine. After they started the Lincoln variant in 1952 and 54, they replaced the flathead with the Y block. Now, what printed material do I really recommend that you buy or that you purchase if you own a classic car or truck that has a Y block in it? Number one, I'm so surprised so many people do not pick up a shop manual for their vehicle. Make sure that you do this. These are reproduced by a lot of different companies. I've got mine for my 1955 Ford Club sedan. Most of the time, at the very beginning of each shop manual, there's information about the engine, disassembly, reassembly, specifications, clearances. At the back of the shop manual is going to be a handy section for torque specifications and all the rest. You really need to get yourself a shop manual. One reminder, if you have a 312, don't over torque your main bearings, or excuse me, your main bearing caps. Be very sensitive to that. Understand that back in the day, in the mid-50s, Ford misprinted. I don't know who was at the helm or who was the fact checker back then, but they got the torque specs way too high. A lot of 312s that you'll find with the block has the main webs cracked because I think the torque spec back then, I think Ford put it at 120 or something. Anyway, 95 to 105 is what you need for torque specs, 239 all the way up to 312. Don't go over 105 and you'll be just fine. All right, next book is this, Ford Y Block, Origin, Maintenance, and Rebuild. This is a very excellent book by James Eichmann, kind of considered a classic. It was printed again, I think in the mid-80s or so. Of course, you can tell this is a little bit more color here. Pictures, diagrams, a little bit of the history. Takes you through a rebuild and all of that, even some things about parts and all the rest. Very good book. One thing to mention to you is on page 72, we'll turn there real quick and just show you. You'll find that the timing set is listed here. You can tell the engine block's upside down. What happens is, with the way this timing set looks and the way it's described and discussed, you can tell that from this photo, the links, the 12 between the pins or the dots there on your cam gear and your crank gear show here on the passenger side, if you flip that block around. We all know it's on the driver's side. That is very important to remember. Don't mess up the timing set with your Y block. Next book to look at is this one by Charlie Morris, an up-to-date rebuild manual. Very nice with a lot of full color photos. Charlie goes through here. He does a stock rebuild, talks a lot about parts availability, how to get with your machinist, how to explain some things about the Y block. He also goes through a high performance build as well. This is a great resource, readily available on Amazon right now, or probably some other outlets too. If you're working with your local machinist that doesn't know much about the Y block engine and some of the nuances, you need to get him this book. At least buy it, let him borrow it, go through some of the things here. It'll be a tremendous help to him and a tremendous help to you as you work on your Y block Ford. The next one's not so much a book as it is to discuss or talk about the Y block magazine. Y block magazine is about done. Bruce Young started it in 1993. There's about 173 issues. I believe he's only going to do a couple of more. He's out of Illinois. But he's done a tremendous job over the years. Think about it, almost 30 years or so that he's been putting out the Y block magazine. It's gone around the world. Great articles in the magazine submitted by the likes of Ted Eaton, John Mummert, Jerry Christensen, Tim McMaster. Even sometimes yours truly gets in on the mix here and submits an article every once in a while. But this is a great resource if you can find it on eBay, find it at swap meets, maybe get on the Facebook page for the Y block group, ask if there's anybody that has some extra copies of the Y block magazine. You're really going to enjoy that. A lot of stuff in the Y block magazine, and especially in some of these books that you cannot find anywhere online. The last book to show you is not so much something that helps you in the rebuild process or maintaining your Y block, but it's a really good read, maybe a good Christmas gift. The Ford Y block Performance History, also by Charlie Morris. This book here goes through and really talks about the racing history, the high performance history, drag strips, NASCAR, road racing, setting speed records, and especially 56, 57, even the modern day. This book goes through and hits some of the stuff going on at the Salt Flats and El Mirage. You're really going to enjoy this book. It's a really excellent read, and it really sets the record straight on the performance value of the Y-Block Ford V8 engine over the years. I know these books will be a big help to you. I know Christmas is coming up soon. Give some people you love some ideas on what to buy you and put under the Christmas tree. We'll see you later.